What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. I'm here to give you guys the wrestling news wrap up for June 2nd, 2015. Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar T4 WrestleMania 32. Steve Austin hosted his Stone Cold podcast on WWE Network with Paul Heyman as his guest last night. At the end of that hour-long discussion, Heyman turned the tables on Austin by asking him if he would like to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. Austin replied with a lot of confidence, and I quote, "I'll beat his ass." Austin spoke about it in more detail. "If I were going to fight Brock Lesnar, I would beat his ass. You know that as well as I do, Paul. You sit there with that little grin on your face, and I'm not saying I'm going to, but I think you would know how it would go down." Austin tried to sell it to Austin some more. So Austin fired back, "I have to think about it. But the person who will really have to think about it is Brock Lesnar. I don't think he wants to take all the momentum and all the good stuff you have done to roll into 105,000 to Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium to get his ass smoked." From there, they got a little bit silly as Heyman suggested that they should call Lesnar to ask him an auction, saying he had his number, so he could call him too. They didn't actually get a hold of Lesnar because the show ran out of time. When they picked up the discussion some more, Austin said that if he did the match, he would want it to be a Texas death match because he didn't want to get into a technical battle with like Lesnar. That would be smart because then they can do weapons. Austin wouldn't have to take as many dangerous bumps on his neck and back, so they could have more of a stand-up brawling type match. The entire hour-long discussion is worth your time, but when Austin went into Stone Cold promo mode at the end, it really got people excited. Fans on social media got really excited about it, and so did WWE personnel. Vince McMahon may have dollar signs dancing in his head too. It needs to be stated that Austin admitted that he's not saying he's going to do it, but it sure sounds like there is some interest there. When Heyman was on Austin's podcast that was only available on Podcast One in the past, they also addressed the topic. Austin seemed willing to do it then too. While Austin promo could definitely be considered a work because he was doing a Stone Cold style promo on Lesnar, it was still very entertaining. Most likely what happened is they knew they wanted to end the interview on that note. So that's why Heyman brought it up when they only had about 2 minutes left. It's like having a match and ending with some big finishing move. They know as well as anybody what's going to get people talking, and that Austin addressing the idea of having one more match. Austin will be 51 years old by the time WrestleMania 32 rolls around next year. He looked to be in amazing shape, so even though it will be 13 years since his last match, WrestleMania 19 in 2003, he could be able to get through it. He already getting in that kind of shape 9 months before the event even takes place. A potential WrestleMania 32 card could see Austin versus Lesnar as the main event, The Rock versus Triple H with some Ronda Rousey involvement, possibly The Undertaker versus Sting, and maybe Hulk Hogan having one more match, whether it's a tag or in singles. That would be pretty epic in terms of getting some huge star power to try to get 100,000 people in AT&T Stadium in Dallas. If Austin is willing to do it, WWE could finally have the one match people have been waiting to see for over a decade with Austin taking on Lesnar. Samoa Joe signed full-time WWE contract. Samoa Joe has signed a contract to work full-time for WWE, effective immediately. Joe deal went into effect this week because he was at Raw where he worked a match against Tyson Kidd for Superstar. Although it may have just been a dark match, some reports say that Kidd may have suffered an injury in the match as well. Joe won the match clean with a muscle buster. The news was first reported by PW Torch, who noted that Joe's merchandise sale was so impressive that Vince McMahon and Triple H wanted him to sign a deal right away. The shirts that WWE put on for sale after Joe's NXT debut on May 20 sold out within a day. So it's no surprise that WWE will want to cash in on that. It just shows how excited WWE fans were to see him as a regular in WWE. Joe's future in WWE was also confirmed by PW Insider, who also added that Ring of Honor going to Destination America played a factor because WWE didn't want Joe to appear on another wrestling show cable TV broadcast. Now that Joe has signed that exclusive WWE deal, he's likely going to back out of that ROH appearance on June 20 unless they're willing to have him there only for a live appearance without taping it. It's not like WWE sees ROH as competition because they have a good relationship with ROH. It's just a matter of wanting Joe to be on their shows only from this point forward, which is smart business sense. The NXT contract that Joe signed had a clause that would allow WWE to sign him a full-time WWE deal if they win. It took less than 2 weeks after his debut for that to happen, so clearly WWE was impressed by his work in the ring as well as his presence as a big name coming in that is able to sell merchandise too. According to the Torch report, Joe will still likely work all the independent wrestling dates he has booked all the way into early August. He also still appearing on NXT because they tape those once per month on Wednesday. So he can certainly work a few more of those tapings. This is the second big name signed to a full-time main roster contract since Kevin Owens was also signed a main roster contract last week. Owens will work the WWE live event this weekend. Joe will probably be added to some of them when he doesn't have independent dates to fulfill. There is no official word on when Joe will make his main WWE roster debut. They could build it up with video packages for a few weeks in order to get people excited for it since he's likely to come in as a babyface, or it could be a surprise. Owen had an open challenge on SmackDown, so perhaps Joe will answer that to make his debut. That would be fun, although a Raw or pay-per-view debut would seem more likely since they are live shows. For WWE fans, this is a great thing because the 36-year-old Joe is a tremendous all-around performer that adds a lot of talent and credibility to an already loaded WWE roster that keeps getting better. Congratulations to Joe on his new deal. He deserves it. The Rock rumored to be leading role in 80s movie reboot. With the opening weekend success of San Andreas, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in negotiation to be the leading role in a remake of 80s cult classic Big Trouble in China for 20th Century Fox. Writers of the script include Ashley Miller and Zach Sent. They also have Johnson and his producing partners at Seven Bucks Entertainment working with them. It is likely The Rock will play Jack Burton, who was originally played by Kurt Russell. The character is a trucker who gets dragged into a century-old mystical battle in Chinatown between Warren Clan. Update on Samoa Joe status with Ring of Honor. As noted, Samoa Joe worked a match against with Tyson Kidd, which he beat with a muscle buster on what is believed to air on this week's episode of Superstar. The Pro Wrestling Torch is reporting that Samoa Joe has signed a full-time contract with WWE after his merchandise sales were great and Triple H pushing for him to be signed. Ring of Honor tweeted the following last night after this report circulated online, and I quote, June 20, Aftershock, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles versus Frankie Kazarian and Fad Daniel, New York City. Be there live. Order your ticket now. Atlanta Falcons hype Ring of Honor to Destination America. The Atlanta Falcons official Twitter account, with over 475,000 followers, is hyping the debut episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling on Destination America tomorrow night. Quinn Moose Orjianaka has become one of the most talked about up-and-comers in the pro wrestling world over the last year, and played for the Falcons between 2006 and 2009. Intercontinental title plan for Money in the Bank revealed. Coming out of Monday's Raw, it would appear that WWE is setting up a one-on-one bout between Ryback and the returning Big Show for the WWE Intercontinental Championship at the Money in the Bank event. However, that is not the case. The plan heading into the pay-per-view event is a three-way between the Big Show, The Miz, and WWE Intercontinental Champion Ryback. TNA held another conference call with their talent yesterday. TNA held another conference call with their talent on Monday, but this time it was not about the future of the promotion on Destination America, but rather trying to improve their product and creating new ideas to connect better with the audience and raise their profile as a whole. Improving social media was also brought up. The main topic that was discussed was how they can regain fans that have written TNA off and won't give them another chance. TNA realized that over the years and really since leaving Spike TV, it should be noted that since leaving Spike TV, they have lost almost half of their audience. Second TNA show get picked up by the Fight Network, plus Austin Aries contract update. While Destination America has dropped TNA Greatest Matches TV series, Canada Fight Network has picked up the series and will air the series starting tomorrow as a lead-in to Impact Wrestling. As you might know by now, TNA will move Impact Wrestling from Friday night to Wednesday night starting tomorrow night. Austin Aries' contract with TNA is rumored to expire the day after TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view, but this is not confirmed by any means after this writing. Jim Ross blog. Elimination Chamber thought Austin vs. Lesnar at WrestleMania. Samoa Joe with WWE deal. Austin Heyman interview. Jim Ross had posted a blog over at jrbarbecue.com, and below are his excerpts, and I quote, Elimination Chamber was a style event overall, with the Cena, Owens, and Ambrose Rollins matches being the best of the night. I wasn't wild about either Elimination Chamber bout, but thought the tag title one was the better of the two. The effort by the talent was there, but the format isn't one that interests me in a PG landscape. Too much scenerization and stunt for my taste, especially in the tag title version, while the IC title tip seemed disjointed. Surprised that New Day retained, which is a good thing. Being surprised, and I have no issue with Ryback attempting to continue to put the luster back on the IC title. Ryback used a la the Ultimate Warrior in some aspect of his game, might be donable and work for the IC champion. Enjoy the Steve Austin Paul Heyman profile edition of the Steve Austin podcast on the WWE Network, and was pleased that WWE extended their time approximately 12 minutes, as the two could have easily delivered 2 compelling hours of entertainment. It brought back old times when Heyman stuck the Mean Dog with a sharp stick when asking Steve Austin about facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania Texas in April of 2016. Great intensity by Austin, who flipped the switch into promo mode while talking about the topic that the IWC had to love. My Twitter timeline exploded as many fans reacted as if the match had been made and that Steve was firing the open salvo of the verbal aspect of what would be a record-setting main event. I give an educated guess that the odds of an Austin Lesnar match being held at WrestleMania Texas as less than 50-50 and likely closer to 65-35 that it won't happen. I love to be wrong, but as Austin said, the stars in the sky will all have to be aligned for that to happen, and I don't see those stars as being fan-friendly, for the lack of a better expression. If true, very strategic of WWE to sign Samoa Joe to a full-time contract with the organization. Joe can work with anyone on the roster in any environment, and is a class act who a great pro and will be a positive influence to all that he comes in contact with in the locker room. Tyson Kidd suffered injury during match with Samoa Joe. As noted, Samoa Joe worked a match against Tyson Kidd prior to Monday Raw going on air. According correspondent from the event, it appeared that Kidd suffered an injury toward the end of the match. Natalya raced to the back following the match, and Cesaro quickly got into the ring, and the referee threw up the X sign. Kidd was said to be upset leaving the ring and was holding his neck and collarbone. Backstage news on Steve Austin angle with Paul Heyman. As noted earlier, during Steve Austin podcast on the WWE Network, Paul Heyman and Austin teased a possible match between Brock Lesnar and the Rattlesnake for next year's WrestleMania 32 event in a Texas death match. According to Dave Meltzer, the match is certainly possible, or else it wouldn't have been brought up on the show. Meltzer noted that WWE wouldn't waste their time to put together an angle just to work the internet. Triple H welcomed 2 new recruits from India. Triple H announced that Lovepreet Sangha and Satinder, two athletes from India, have begun training at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And finally, Bill Goldberg said WWE doesn't want him to come back. Former WWE and WCW wrestler Bill Goldberg revealed details to Sports Illustrated about a recent conversation he had with Triple H about possibility coming back to the business. Here's a quote from the interview, and I quote, "I had a conversation with Paul Levesque recently, and I said, listen, I'm willing to put everything aside. If you guys want to sit down and make some money and have some fun, then let's do it. My son wants to see me wrestle, and I'm willing to put all the bad feelings aside. If you guys want to move forward and do this thing the right way, then let's talk." And that's the way it ended. There's nothing there. Truthfully, I don't even think they want me to come back, period. I'm just not one of them. The fact that I'm not far outweighs the financial gain, which they truly may not even believe is there. And I'm good with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, See you guys on the next one. Peace.